As far as comforting hymns go, Abide With Me sits near, if not at, the top of the list. The text was written by Henry Francis Lyte, an Anglican minister in Scotland in the early 19th century. Lyte suffered from poor health his whole life, taking frequent vacations abroad for relief, as was the Victorian custom. He would often playfully comment to his friends and family, "It is better to wear out than to rust out." Lyte served as the priest and vicar of All Saints in Brixham, England, a small fishing village on the coast of Devonshire. He was an accomplished poet and hymn writer, having also authored Praise My Soul, the King of Heaven. At around the age 50, Lyte was diagnosed with tuberculosis. Over the next several years, his health deteriorated. He preached his final sermon on September 4, 1847, against the recommendation of his family, who believed his health to be too fragile. He preached nonetheless, reminding his family of his oft-repeated phrase, "It is better to wear out than to rust out." That afternoon he embarked on a ship to Italy for another health-boosting vacation. He died a few days later in a hotel on the French Riviera at age 54. His final words were reported to be, "Peace, joy." There is some debate about where the text for the hymn came from. Some sources say that it was inspired by a dear friend that Lyte visited in 1820 as he lay dying. The friend repeated the phrase, "Abide with me," as Lyte sat with the dying man, which Lyte went on to extrapolate for the complete hymn. Other sources say that the hymn was a product of Lyte's final sermon before his voyage to Italy, and that he wrote it while on the ship, reflecting back on his life. He mailed the finished hymn to his wife, Anne, and it was first sung at his funeral a couple weeks later. Most likely is that both stories are true. Lyte did sit with a dying friend who bid him to remain by his side, and later remembered that episode as he neared the end of his own life, leading him to write down a personal testament of faith and comfort. The opening line recalls Luke chapter 24, verse 29, after the two prophets encounter the risen Jesus on the road to Emmaus. Upon realizing who it is, they say, "Stay with us, for it is nearly evening, the day is almost over." The complete hymn has 8 stanzas, although today we sing only the first and the final 3. The internal stanzas carry a more personal tone. Swift to its close ebbs out life's little day. Earth's joys grow dim, its glories pass away. Change and decay in all around I see. O thou who changest not, abide with me. Not a brief glance, I beg, a passing word, but as thou dwellst with thy disciples, Lord, familiar, condescending, patient, free, come not to sojourn, but abide with me. Come not in terrors as the King of Kings, but kind and good, with healing in thy wings. Tears for all woes, a heart for every plea. Come, friend of sinners, and thus bide with me. Thou on my head in early youth didst smile, and though rebellious and perverse meanwhile, thou hast not left me, oft as I left thee. On to the close, O Lord, abide with me. The first performance of this hymn at Lyte's funeral used the hymn that Lyte himself wrote by the same name.
Abide with me, fast falls the eventide, the darkness deepens, Lord, with me abide. When other helpers fail, and comforts flee, help of the helpless, oh, abide with me.
In 1861, William Henry Monk, an English organist, choirmaster, and editor of Hymns Ancient and Modern, composed the tune Eventide, to which we sing Lyte's hymn today. The intense personal nature of the text, the extended metaphor of evening for the end of life, and the closing line, "In life, in death, O Lord, abide with me," has made this hymn a frequent selection for funerals. Please enjoy Abide With Me.
abide with me. Fast falls the eventide, the darkness deepens. Lord, with me abide. When other helpers fail and comforts flee, help of the helpless, oh, abide with me. I need thy presence every passing hour. What but thy grace can foil the tempter's power? Who like thyself my guide and stay can be? Through cloud and sunshine, Lord, abide with me. I fear no foe, with thee at hand to bless. Ills have no weight, and tears no bitterness. Where is death's sting? Where grave thy victory? I triumph still if thou abide with me. Hold thou thy cross before my closing eyes. Shine through the gloom and point me to